It blows my fucking mind when people tell themselves that they're not powerful just because they don't want to accept responsibility of being 100% responsible for their actions, being 100% responsible for their own lives. You see, I'm so obsessed with my life. Like, I love my life, guys. Like, I love what I can do with it. I love what it allows me to create. I love what energy it gives me, what passions it gives me, what purpose it gives me. And the one thing that I want to do with my life is to help people change theirs, to help people better their own lives. And the only way that I can do that is if I can shape mindsets, if I can adapt, and if I can influence and articulate people's perspectives and their perceptions to be able to realize that there's more than one way in how to view life. I live in the valley, okay, the San Fernando Valley. And the people around me, I'm constantly surrounded by people who live rejecting it, who walk around like the walking dead, and they're afraid to open their eyes, and they're afraid to feel anything, and they're afraid to talk to people, so they go about and do their own thing, and they just go through their days, and they don't really feel anything, and then they go to sleep, and then it's back to the same thing the next day, and that's not life. It's just that it's not that we don't want the best for ourselves. Of course we do, because like that's just in our course to just love ourselves. But it's that we're confused. We don't know how to do it. We don't know how to get to the end result. We think it has to take all of our lives so we can get this grand epiphany, so we can start bettering our lives and feeling better about ourselves. But no, it can happen in an instant if you just realize that there's a better way in how to view life. It's just that people, we have this tunnel vision. And when you have this tunnel vision, it prevents you from seeing life at a grand scale of things. It prevents you from seeing the bigger picture, for seeing what life really is. So we're all focused on a small part of it. Okay, we only see a small part of it, a little microscopic part of it. But the thing is we pour our entire lives into that one small part. We pour our entire souls, our hearts, our bodies, our emotions, our physical, mental, and emotional barriers. We pour everything that we got, essentially our whole lives, into that one small portion. And it completely changes control over our lives are, is, and where it could be. People tell themselves that they're not powerful. People tell themselves that they cannot change their fucking lives. And it's bullshit. It's really bullshit. Because when you understand that a negative and a negative go together, when a negative doesn't equal a positive, when a positive equals a positive, and when a positive doesn't equal a negative, when you realize that negativity is on one side and positivity is on another, then it becomes clear. People tell me positivity doesn't matter, positivity doesn't exist, you can't be positive, you can't be happy every single moment of every single day. I mean, okay, so why are you negative every single moment of every single day? There's yin and there's fucking yang. It's what we tell ourselves. It's what we believe in ourselves. It's what we know, because we don't know any different, because we were never taught any different. We were never introduced. It's like if I were to go to Starbucks, right? If I were to go anywhere, and if I were to straight talk shit to some person, right, serving me or whatever, I wouldn't get a positive result back. I wouldn't. They probably spit in my drink or they'll do something, but ultimately it'll be from a negative connotation. But what if I went up there and I thanked them for their service? What if I appreciated them? What if I told them that they made my day? That they're doing an amazing job? That I'm just happy that they're there, taking care of me? Then of course they're going to smile. Of course they're going to be fulfilled. They're going to remember that day. They're probably going to thank me for making their days. They're going to go to sleep and remember me the next day, you know? And that's what life is all about. That's leaving a situation in a better way than you found it. That's everything. Okay, but we take that small little concept and we put it into life. Okay? If you're a negative person, then you have a negative life. Because every single situation that ever happens to you, you deal with it negatively. Every single person that ever comes into your life, you deal with them negatively. Who wants to be around a negative person? They're going to run away from you. You're never going to have any social associations. Like, no. And then you're going to be feeding yourself that bullshit that, hey, I was right in the first place, that life fucking sucks because yada 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 yada. It's what you put out that you get. See, if you're a positive person, then your life will be so fucking amazing. You'll be complimenting everybody. You'll be just happy about everything. Gratitude is like fucking key. You'll be doing everything like you're supposed to. And even if you had problems, you wouldn't be drowning in your problems. You wouldn't be thinking about your problems. You wouldn't be so into the drama. Your minds would be like, it would be rehearsed. It would be surrounded by situations, at least thinking about situations that solve your problems. And you're so focused on the positive that the negative can't get in. And it doesn't have to take you literally all your life for you to find that out. It can take a second when you realize that life doesn't happen to you. It happens for you. I'm never going to steer you wrong. I don't want to put ill will on anybody. I mean, you're talking to the most negative person on this fucking planet, guys. I used to be horrible. All I would have ever wanted in my life was some love. It was to feel worthy. You know, I wanted my parents to feel proud of me. I wanted everybody to feel proud of me. But guess what? I took a step to actually break myself down and analyze my life. And what did I find? I wasn't really living. I didn't provide any sort of anything. I wasn't contributing. I wasn't making anybody's day better. I wasn't doing anything productive with my life. I was just pissed off all the time. Pissed off in my own negativity, and that's all that I got. Nobody really cared. And I had to make that change. I had to realize that this was the best change that could have ever happened to me. I love my life now. I mean, situations, I always have problems. I'm always dealing with something, but it's just like I feel empowered to deal with them. A lot of this stuff is just programming, you know. As a little kid, you're brought up without really knowing about life, and your parents pretty much are in the same place as you know, so they're just dealing with the parenthood of this whole situation, and everything's a new concept, and they don't really have experience. I mean, who teaches this stuff, right? So you grow up in this environment that shapes you. They start shaping your personality, and that's what you get stuck with. That's the stigma. Consequently, it's also everything that we believe in. It's everything that we see. Society paints a picture when we talk about believing in ourselves. Society paints a picture that it's weak, that it's a facade, that's a cliche. But when in reality, believing in ourselves is actually the only way to fucking live our lives to our fullest potential. When we believe in ourselves, we actually love ourselves right. We give ourselves confidence. We give ourselves belief and permission to be able to go and tackle life for everything that it's going to give us, for everything that it's got, to live life to the fullest. Because we're actually out there. We're grinding for it. Honestly, you have to be aligned in your soul, in your body, in your mind to be able to have positivity come out at you. That's the one thing that you have to work on the most. That's the only thing that matters. I believe The first step into solving any problem is realizing that there's one to begin with. And when you realize it, the only choice is to solve it. Like, nobody wants to live with problems. And the only reason why people live with problems is because they don't know how to solve them. Or they just can't. They don't want to. Whatever the reason, whatever clusterfuck is going through your mind right then and there, you have the power to solve every single problem that ever comes into your life. The first step is awareness. I just fully believe that no matter how you view life, it's going to come back to you. There's mirrors for a reason. People invented mirrors for a reason. You know, what you see is what you get. Now, when you contribute, when you give something, that's called gratitude, right? Well, the actual definition is giving something and expecting nothing in return. When you can do that, and when you're giving, you're actually planting seeds. You're planting seeds for harvest. Because people, they remind themselves about you. They remember about you because you're not like everybody else. You don't move like everybody else. You're special. In a world full of 7 billion people, you're part of the very many that live positively. Okay? And that speaks to people. I talk about creating bridges. Not breaking them, not burning them. Creating bridges and creating as many as you can possibly create. See, people are valuable. People are powerful. People are assets. When you go outside, you see people. People are your closest co-workers. They're your family. They're your classmates. They're your clients. They're your investors. They're your customers, your guests. They're the entire economy, they're governments. They're everything. So it's just like we are created. We are put on this planet to coexist. Because people are not perfect, okay? People aren't perfect, and we have weaknesses, and we have faults. But the point is not to focus on our faults so much, but to amplify on what we're really good at, and then working with the people that are really good at what we're faulting on. That's leadership. That's creating cohabilitation. Sorry, I just got stuck. But honestly, it's about giving more than receiving. You can always give, and you're going to feel fulfilled. Fulfillment is a definition of giving someone something that they originally didn't have. For doing something for another person. And you will never get that doing anything else. Nothing for yourself, because everything fades, satisfaction fades. You would have to just jump in and just tear up the spot and just give everything that you got to every single person out there. And I promise, you're gonna reap the benefits no matter what. I really want to go through techniques that help with people understanding that we are in control of our own emotions and our own states, and we're fully able to come back from a lifestyle, from a childhood that was probably damaging. A lot of people hold resentment. For shit that was in nobody's control. You know, I did that too. I held in my heart resentment from my parents, my dad for leaving, my mom for being crazy. But, I mean, when you really think about it, when you take a step into their shoes, when you empathize, and you can do this with your own life too, when you empathize and you go into their bodies with their minds and their knowledge and their intellect at that exact moment, and you realize all the life decisions that were coming at them, okay? They didn't have a choice. They did what they thought was best. It wasn't their fault. They didn't intellectually want to hurt you. It's just what life was. And I think we can relate being as old as we are now and knowing what life really is. But once you realize that nobody was responsible for hurting you, for turning your life the way that it was, then guess what? It's just circumstance. And you can let go. And you can start over. And you can be positive. And you can be the person that you choose to be. Starting over and being the person that you were meant to be. Life is so much more. Life is so much more fun. You can do so many more things. I've talked to so many more people. I've built relationships. I've used to only have like 2-3 people that I really confide in, and now I have hundreds. I really want to express, and I hope people take me for my word, because, I mean, it wasn't easy. Of course, it's not easy, but I don't believe in solving a problem unless you know what you're dealing with and you attack the roots and you attack the stems and you go for what the problem really represents and what it really is. You see, like, okay, if, for example, someone were to tell you to start chopping wood, right? And they give you a dull axe. And you're like, okay. And you start trying to chop and chop and chop and chop. And you're getting sweaty and you're working really hard. And it was the morning when you started chopping, but now it's midnight. And you barely chopped any wood. I mean, at what point in time are you going to go and sharpen the axe? It's obvious, right? Well, with every single problem, there's an obvious solution. There's something that you can do that allows you to deal with the problem easier. You don't have to beat yourself up about it. And that answer usually lies within you. It usually is something that you need to ally yourself with. You need to align yourself with. You need to be able to believe in yourself, to allow yourself the capacity to think in a way that you've never thought before. This is all psychological. This is all business related. I mean, you are your own business. Think about it. You can expand. You are your own empire. You can expand to heights that you've never even dreamed about. I can't even think of my possibilities. I used to only think about my own limitations. Not anymore. I don't even know the word limitations. It's amazing. You know, there's a reason why children are literally the best learners. It's because they don't believe in limitations. They never heard the word. Okay? Like, think about it. I mean, they learn numbers. And they learn entire languages. And they learn how to read. Like, so quickly. And it's just amazing what the human mind is capable of doing. Life can be like that. Life can be like that for everybody. It's just that you have to do things the wrong way. I mean, the right way. When you looking at a situation and you're tackling it in a certain way and it's not working, then you owe it to yourself to never repeat that action again and tackle it in a different angle. Because you can tell yourself every single day that you've tried everything. You've read every self-help book. You've tried every seminar. You go to therapy. But you haven't tried everything, because if you did, then you would have found a result. You would have found something that worked. You would have found something that grounded you, something you can live by, a concept that you can live by. Life is beautiful. Life isn't a bitch. Life is easy. It's effortless. It's immaculate. It's heaven, if you can see it that way. We are what we see. We are what we perceive. I can see a situation in 50 different ways when another person can see just one. But I just don't know. See, I have like so many ways I want to take this video. I have so many ways I want to take this video, but yeah, it's like a freeway traffic in my head. It's like all clustered, and I don't want to be like escaping different topics. But I'm just barely learning about this YouTube stuff. I come from Instagram, so we make a bunch of 1-minute videos, and I can edit those 1-minute videos, so I'm never staying on one topic, and I can always diversify. But with YouTube, it just goes on, you know. So, but seriously, I just want you guys to believe in yourselves. I want to be able to know that you realize that you can handle your problems, that you can handle everything that life throws at you, that you aren't a product of your environment. You can let go of that stigma. It doesn't have to hold you down just because you live in a certain part of the world. Just because the performance factor is so high doesn't mean you can't rise to it. It doesn't mean that you have to forget about being human. Humanity is all that we got. It's the best thing that we do. Love is the best thing that we do. We navigate through life by appreciating it, by appreciating other people, and you're going to see where that takes you. It's going to take you to some amazing things, guys. It's going to take you to beautiful horizons that you would have never known possible. I know it. I live it now. Every day used to be hell. Now every day is perfect. That's the thing about perfection, you know. You look and you look and you look and you never think that you find it, but in reality, it's been around you for all your life. It's been around you without you even seeing it. It's life. It's the air that we breathe. It's the family that you got. It's your passions. It's your visions. It's your ambitions. It's everything that you represent. You guys are amazing. I just really want you to understand that and believe in it. And just put that in your heart and never forget it. Because I know how a compliment can fade. Guess what? Compliments don't fade to me anymore. They don't. Because the only self-talk that really stays is the stuff that you tell yourself. So don't beat yourself up anymore. It's not worth it. The consequences are the worst things that can ever happen to you. Dehumanizing things. When you're really supposed to hype yourself up. Alright guys, till my next video. I love you guys. Take care. Stay safe. Wear your masks out in public, because I know nobody's really respecting this whole quarantine thing. I see a whole bunch of people when I go to work. But seriously, just stay safe, and thank you for staying indoors. You guys are saving lives. This is a team effort. We'll get this economy back up and cracking, and everybody will be back to their usual lives soon. Just stay strong. Si se puede. Alright guys.